All right, welcome back. It's been a busy week here in the shop, so I haven't had much time to work back here, but I have been doing the planning. And I printed out a couple pictures of the old spruce cullen timber layout, and I'm getting ready to start physical scenery on this mountain area. So I really like the rock work and how that laid out in the spruce cullen timber layout. That's the little mini layout that you see here on the channel, and then this is a diorama that I did, and I really like the way that looks. So I think I'm going to apply some of that. And at this point, I'm planning on using plaster, which I believe I have plenty of down there. The other thing I've been working on is this section of the layout. Now, if you watched the last video, you'll notice that there's all this clutter and clusters of stuff that's gone. That was just in there temporarily till I decided what I wanted to do. But if I had to do this over again, and I'm not going to, I would take that feed mill out and I'd make this into a milk plant. And at this point, I don't want to pull that whole thing out of there. And if I put something in front of it, it might look too close to the feed mill. So my plan is, and I'll tell you about this in a minute, my plan is to put a cover on these two pieces here to make it look like it's the back of it. So in other words, that road there would be where the vehicles come and all that stuff. So I'm gonna do that, and then in the meantime, I started working on this elevator, or at least what might resemble an elevator. And the reason is, some of you are pretty crafty, you know why I did this. Behind it is that thermostat, which that's not a big deal, I don't really care about that, but I just don't like the way the scene lays out, and I needed to have a structure in there anyway. So I'm thinking about this, and that's the base of a feed elevator, grain elevator, something like that. So I'm trying to work through that and see what it looks like. And I might put some texture on it just to see if I like that or if I want to do it out of wood, because I do have enough wood that I can scribe. So we're going to see how that looks. But that's what I'm working on right now. All right, so I have these shallow relief structures. They should be dry by now. And this right here will have this print wrapped around it. We'll make some details for it. Now this one will sit next to it, and that'll have this. And we're just going to trim it. Once we glue it to it, then we can trim the other side of it. We have a small one here. It goes like that. I had to think about it. This is going to get this print, although I did get some glue on there, and I think I'm going to have to reprint it, but that sits like that. You get the idea. The other thing I'm working on is this is the elevator, and I've cut all these pieces here. Now I want to tell you, this wood came from Northeast Scale Lumber. Jerry, this is a long time ago, he gave me these, and I had them, and they were kind of test pieces. So there's really, that's probably HO scale, but we're going to use them just because we have them on hand, and we'll line them up on here, and we can stain it and do all that stuff. So we have some angular pieces here. But this ought to be interesting here in the next couple hours. Now that just looks silly. Well, we'll let her dry, see what happens. For this one, I've marked the center line. And then I've also marked the center line of the print right there with the little black dot. So I can line those up, and I'm gonna basically spray some Super 77 spray adhesive on there. Just get this front panel glued down, and then I can wrap the edges and glue them down that way. We'll do the same thing for that other piece over there. All right, this looks like a monstrosity, but it is that basswood and it is stained, and it's to have some dark areas underneath whatever paint or chalk that I use. I did find some metallic silver, which would kind of mimic that look, and that's just sitting there. You got that piece there that I did, this piece, and the small piece there, and I got to put some roofs on them. And then, of course, anything I do right now, even like this, I'm not doing a whole lot of detail on what. I'm just trying to get the placeholders in place. That doesn't look too bad, really. Takes up some space here, maybe some outdoor lighting, like it's trying to light up the, we'll call this the smoking area, right? Right, guys, remember that? In the old days, the smoking area? I didn't have time to do a whole lot, but what I did was start weathering this a little bit. Not bad. And just remember, these are not complete. They're just placeholders right now. And I'm gonna go through and detail them and add all kinds of exterior items. Light poles, electrical stuff, that kind of thing. And that's just a temporary roof sitting on here, but it doesn't look bad. But if we get this guy out of the way here, that's not bad. The 3D is not bad. Once I blend it all in, I think it'll look pretty good. But it gives a little more oomph to this area here. A little more of a 3D effect. And I do like the fact that this is the back of a building now. But that's not bad. I'm gonna keep rolling.